it's Ty and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to go ahead and do a review over Karin Slaughter's The Good Daughter. And this is a adult mystery thriller novel. And this is actually my second book by this author. My first one was Pretty Girls, which I do have a review up on my channel, and I will have that link down in my description bar if you guys want to check that out. But just like that book, I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed this one. And I will say that both of those books are really heavy, and this one has a lot of trigger warnings just like that one, but I will get into all of that later. So I will start off with a brief synopsis of what the story is about. So we'll go ahead and get started. So this actually starts off with our two main characters by the name of Samantha and Charlotte, aka Sam and Charlie, who are two sisters. And this starts off at around 1989 when they are around 13 and 15 years old, and they live in this small town in Georgia, and their father is this really popular defense attorney, and he is popular for all the wrong reasons. He has this reputation for wanting to get all of these people off and out of jail, who the people in town feel like everybody that he's trying to get out of jail, they feel like needs to be in jail. So needless to say, nobody in the town likes him. So one night while the two girls are at home with their mother, they are involved in this horrific incident that actually leaves their mother murdered. And because of this incident, the two sisters become estranged from each other. And then we jump like 30 years into the present. And one of the sisters is no longer living in Georgia. The other sister has remained in Georgia with her father. Both of the sisters are now lawyers. And so one day, one of the sisters is involved in a new horrific incident. And because of that incident, the other sister now has to come back to Georgia. And the story is all about trying to figure out how this new incident is somehow linked to the old incident from when they were younger, how the two sisters are involved with that, and then how their father is involved with that, and this overarching plot, and that's where the story takes place. It's a lot going on, a lot is happening, and I enjoyed every minute of it. So let's get into it. Like I said before, I really enjoyed this story. So one of the things that I will say is I really enjoyed how this story was written. In the beginning, it starts off with us getting it from the perspective of the one sister by the name of Samantha, and we are seeing this horrific incident through her eyes. And then, like I said, we jump 30 years. We are under the impression that we got the whole story of what took place when they were younger. And then a few chapters later, we are getting the story from when they were younger through her younger sister Charlie's eyes. And I really like that because as the story goes on, we are flip-flopping back and forth between the two sisters, and we're getting more and more information about what happened to them when they were younger. I really enjoyed that. I like when authors do that. I like when they do it and it makes sense. And I like when we can really dive deeper into what happens to these characters. So I really enjoyed that. And I liked it because when we first got it from Samantha's perspective, I could have swore that story was done, that we got all the information we were going to get, and we weren't going to hear anything else about what happened to them when we were younger. The other thing that I really enjoyed in this story was how much family drama we got. Now, I don't think that this is going to be the selling point to a lot of other people because, like I said, this is supposed to be more of a mystery thriller. And in a lot of people's mystery thrillers, I'm sure they don't want any family drama. I was here for it. I enjoyed it, but I can understand why a lot of people wouldn't want that. But like I said before, because of that incident when they were younger, it made the two sisters estranged from each other. And since one of the sisters had to come back in town, they had to deal with all of those issues that they didn't get to deal with when they were younger. So we actually got to watch them deal with all of that. And then also, like I said, one of those sisters stayed in town with their father. So then that sister that had to come back, she now had to deal with all of those issues that she didn't get to deal with her father. So we got to see all of that play out while they're also trying to deal with this incident that one of the sisters was involved in. So all of this is going on in this story. So like I said, it is a lot going on, and I really enjoyed it. Another thing that I wanted to mention was there are a lot of trigger warnings in this story. So in this story, we are dealing with, there is a description of violent rape. We are talking about miscarriages. We are talking about mental illness, bullying, police brutalities, mental illness. I believe there is mention of suicide. And there's one trigger warning that I don't want to mention because I don't want to give the plot of the story away, because I really want to keep this spoiler free. And I'm pretty sure there's probably some other trigger warnings that I'm not mentioning because I just can't keep track of them all. But if any of those bother you, just be aware that they are in here and they are talked about in detail. And I've only read 2 books by Karin Slaughter, but she does not shy away from the things that she talks about. She goes into everything heavy-handed. She does not sugarcoat anything. If she's going to talk about it, she is going to talk about it. So just know that going in here, she goes over things in such great detail. So I just feel like anybody that has read anything of Karin Slaughter's has said the same thing. So you just know what you're going to get when you decide to pick up a Karin Slaughter novel. But none of that bothered me. None of it triggered me. So I didn't have a problem with any of it. At times though, I mean, it is hard. I listened to this on audiobook, so it was hard to listen to. It's not pleasant, but it just didn't bother me like that. So I can understand how some people could take issue with this, but it didn't take away from my enjoyment, is basically what I'm trying to say. Now, even though I liked all of those things that I mentioned before about this novel, I still only ended up rating this book a 4 out of 5 stars. The only reason why I ended up giving this a 4 stars and out of 5 is because this book is almost 500 pages, and I just felt like it was a little too long. And I'm pretty sure I might have said that about Pretty Girls, and if I didn't say it out loud, I definitely was thinking it. And I just think that it could have been at least 100 pages shorter. Now, what I'm going to say next might be a little contradictory, but I do feel like towards the end of this book, it was a bit rushed. And I feel like the things that I wanted to be more explained was rushed, and the things that were kind of dragged out, that could have been rushed. So I just wish that a few things were changed. Besides that, overall, I really, really, really enjoyed this book. Again, I've only read 2 things by this author. Both of the things I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed both of the twists at the end for both of these authors. And Pretty Girls, I really enjoyed the twist at the end for that one. I really enjoyed the twist at the end for this one. Didn't see it coming. Didn't figure anything out. Didn't have an inkling of what was going on in this one. For this one, I literally was just along for the ride. I enjoyed trying to figure out how everything tied together. I enjoyed watching the sisters try to rebuild their relationship. I enjoyed watching the one sister try to rebuild her relationship with her father. I just feel like this one had everything that you could possibly want in a book, because it had your mystery, it had your thriller, it had your family drama. I don't want to say that it had romance in it, because it didn't really have romance, but it definitely had that element of one of the sisters trying to fix her marriage. There was a reason for that in here. So it just had a little bit of everything that you could possibly want in a novel for me. So if you are thinking about picking this one up, I definitely would suggest that you do. Like I said, I listened to this on audio. It was a long audiobook. I think it was 17 hours, but I did it in just a few days. So I would highly suggest that you guys pick up The Good Daughter if you are thinking about it. And Karin Slaughter is probably going to be one of those auto-buy authors for me. So that is all that I have for you guys today. And I hope that I see you guys next time. Bye.